something crosses the road. It's skeletal like, fleshy, and it stands up, and then it like kind of just almost like leaps.
They look back and they see one. Clear as day. It walked 5 feet away from my audio recorder. We just saw a Bigfoot. Holy crap.
I've been pinched, I've been tapped on the shoulder, I've had my name hollered, a hand came up underneath my left arm. I said, little son of a bitch tried to get me. That was the time that I decided you don't sleep inside that building.
Did you see that?
The cow cur, it's big, it's white, and it runs faster than any man could ever run. And he would lean out behind the tree. And that's why we never go out, because the booger will get you.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Exploring the Unknown. I'm Luke.
I'm Dustin.
Today we are going to be talking about Gettysburg and the history on Gettysburg and some of the paranormal hotspots and some of the paranormal activity that goes on in Gettysburg. We are going to be spending a weekend in Gettysburg next month, camping out, which we're both very excited for. You have anything you'd like to say about Gettysburg? You like freezing or something?
Can you hear me okay?
Creeping me out. Yeah, I can hear it.
I was trying to see if I could get you to break. I was like, I'm gonna just smile because I know he's watching me. It's been a minute, man. We haven't done this in quite a while.
Yeah, it's been at least a month, if not longer.
Yeah, there's been quite a lot that's changed, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, moving into the new house took a lot bit of time to get set up and everything situated.
How's that going, by the way?
It's going good.
Good. Getting settled in.
Yeah, finally.
That's awesome. Heck yeah. That's
finally getting settled in.
Exciting. That's exciting, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I
just
got
need
fired.
my little personal space. Yeah.
Sorry. Not to you just need your own personal little space. Go ahead.
For my podcast, so I can have my own little room to do a podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be really cool. That's kind of the dream for me too, is to have like my own little room or to have like podcasts and music related things. But yeah, not to just
even if it's just like a nice
crazy crap. Go ahead.
Even if it's like a nice little waterproof shed or something like that, where I can just keep all my shit in there and just like that could be like my little man cave type of thing.
That's so funny that you say that, because I had brought that up to Renee not long ago, because I was like, you know what? If we can't move, I was like, maybe if I can just get my crap out of the room, that way we have more room in the house. And she's like, how do you want to do that? And I was like, I just get a shed. I don't think they're that expensive. I think you can get a shed for like $5 or $10,000.
Just need to put some of that.
Not like I have like $5 or $10,000, right? But yeah, I'm willing to make payments with my no job having ass.
Yeah, that sucks.
That sucks. But you know what? It is what it is. Now I'm like more inclined to be like, okay, let's just dial in with this podcast and, you know, lock in with the music and try to really make something of it.
Yeah, I feel the same way now after moving. It's like, let's do it now. Like I got my own place. Which I mean, we had a place before, but like I feel a bit more motivated now, where like I can actually like do stuff and like things are
It's a good
rolling
mindset,
in
isn't
the
it?
right direction. Yeah, I feel like things are rolling in the right direction.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. But yeah, kind of getting back on the paranormal topic here. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to spend the night in Gettysburg. Um,
Hmm.
so you have a little bit of information as far as the history goes, because I don't know. I mean, I feel like most everybody knows about Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, but there's some
Yeah,
people that may not. So maybe you should enlighten them a little.
yeah. Gettysburg battle was between July 1st and July 3rd of 1863, and it was in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, during the Civil War, which was where the Union and the Confederates fought the battle, and over 51,000 killed and wounded were missing during the Battle of Gettysburg, which is crazy.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out there. I don't know what's happening.
I'm cutting out.
A little bit.
Did you hear? 51,000 people were killed, wounded, or missing during the battle.
That's a lot of people.
That's a shit ton of people. It was a turning point of the Civil War where Lee's invasion of the North was repelled, which I think that means where the North was taking over the battle. And Abraham Lincoln actually in Gettysburg and declared the Gettysburg Address November 19th in honoring those who died.
Now, I remember, from high school and, prior that, learning about Gettysburg, it was one of the most bloodiest battles ever, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy to think that like such a big part of history is so close to us.
I know, right? A couple hours away. I think it's like 6 hours.
Yeah, it's not very far. It's, a day trip for sure. But yeah, so Gettysburg is like one of the, probably most reputable paranormal hotspots that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what would you say?
Yeah. I probably agree. I mean, even with history, it's well known throughout history as well. Even if you're not into the paranormal, Gettysburg is a big part of history.
Right. Have you ever been ghost hunting in Gettysburg?
I've been ghost hunting in Gettysburg 2 or 3 times, yes.
Yeah. What was your experience?
I honestly didn't have a lot going on in Gettysburg.
There we go. I can hear you.
I didn't have a lot of experiences going to Gettysburg. I mean, I had some, but nothing like that sticks out to me like, oh my God, this was crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the time of the year I went. Maybe it was just a slow time.
A slow time. Was it like during the summer or something?
Halloween time, I think. Around Halloween time.
Yeah.
Like fall.
What would you say the overall atmosphere is like? Is it just kind of like whatever, or does it actually feel like I've been there before, so I'm just curious what your opinion is.
I don't. My feelings come and go, which is weird to say, but like the other night, whenever we're out in the investigation, and that story came across the obvious, and I had that feeling. It's like when it said sorry, I felt like it meant like sorry for leaving, and you kind of felt the same way. So that comes and goes. It's not always like I always feel something. It comes and goes. So like when I was in Gettysburg, I really didn't have a feeling of anything. I mean, but it's been so long since I've been to Gettysburg. It's been a couple of years since I've been to Gettysburg. So maybe now, I think maybe I'm more in tune with it. Maybe I'll have a different feeling going down with this year.
Ooh, maybe that's interesting. You know, I'm you know how I am with energy and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And this is actually something that I just thought about, just like within the last couple of seconds, is that we didn't mention this yet. I know we mentioned it. Actually, no, I don't think we mentioned it at all to our community, but we're going on this trip to meet Annabelle. Well, hopefully they still might have some tickets. I would like you to be able to meet her too. But I mean, if anything, you know, I'll be definitely meeting Annabelle because she's going to be in Gettysburg. So my thought just now is that if Annabelle is this, you know, supercharged spiritual thing, bringing it to a place like Gettysburg may be, you know,
increase.
Yeah.
Might increase the energy. And
right.
I was thinking about something like that too. Going back to the date of Gettysburg when it happened, July 1st through the 3rd. I wonder if those 3 days, the activity maybe be more ramped up since that's the day it happened.
You know, I think that you're probably right. I think that energy, I mean, it makes sense in my mind. And then we're going to bring this, you know, nationally known haunted doll to this hotspot. This, you know, I feel like we're just creating this, you know, recipe for disaster. They say that Annabelle shouldn't be moved.
Yeah, I don't know. My theory on Annabelle is totally different than I think other people's.
I have. I'll let you know after I meet her. What's what, but but oh man, I forgot where I was going with that.
With Annabelle?
Yeah, I can't remember where I was going with that. I don't know. I feel like it could potentially be one of two things. Either, well, one of three things. It's just a doll that we've talked up. It's actually haunted, or we've talked it up so much that it's become haunted.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, my theory is, but this is just my input. But I think it's haunted. But I don't think it's as haunted as they say it is. I mean, with all the Hollywood and everything like that, I think they hyped it up to be like this super crazy doll and possessed by 7 demons and shit like that. Which, okay, I mean, it's possible, but it's just hard for me to like theorize how this doll is so haunted. And how, in the first place, how did it get possessed? How did this doll get possessed in the first place? I mean, I'm not sure about the
I don't know.
But that would be an interesting topic to do.
Is
next
the
time.
history behind Annabelle?
Yeah. It's just, I think it's so hyped up and people are like, oh my God, it's a haunted doll. And if you hype something up so much, people are going to believe it.
Right.
I mean, that's how society is. I mean, you can be like, oh, this is the most haunted doll in the world, and it could not be. And the thing is, I get the whole paying for everything. You got to pay to see it. That's going to obviously go towards expenses and stuff, towards like all the other things. But
Yeah.
if it's that haunting, number one, why are you moving around like you are?
Well, go ahead. I have a theory with that one.
Number two is people are going to pay this money to see the stuff. If it's haunted or not. People are going to pay money to see it. So you're making all this money on this doll. For what reason?
Right.
I mean,
so
go ahead.
Now, I have a theory as to why, you know, could she could potentially be wow, hold on, my sentence doesn't grammatically make sense anymore, so now I have to reform it. My theory is that she's being moved from place to place because there's like a hidden agenda and it's ritualistic.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Because I'm not sure if it has any connections to it or not. But every place Annabelle's been, there's some major destruction happening. Did you see that?
I did.
So,
yeah.
Is that caused by Annabelle? Or is that just a coincidence?
I don't know. I don't know. I would like to think that it's a coincidence, but at the same time, I kind of want to be like, you know what?
Yeah, because the sound is good. This doll's making all these disasters happen, but in reality, it's how is a doll really making all these disasters happen? See, I'm on both sides of the fence. I'm on both sides.
I'm there too. Crap, I've corrupted you. That's where I live, is on both sides of the fence. I just naturally straddle the fence. I can't just pick a side.
To the Gettysburg Let's get back to the Gettysburg topic.
Oh yeah, we did kind of go on a tangent there.
We did. There's a lot of different haunting locations in Gettysburg. Devil's Den is supposed to be haunted. The Farnsworth House Inn is supposed to be haunted. The Gettysburg College, the orphanage, the Jenny Wade House, and obviously the battlefield. Then there's a bridge in Gettysburg called Sachs Bridge. That's what's supposed to be haunted too.
I've heard of that
covered
one.
Bridge.
You want to hear
then
something?
There's another bridge.
Oh no, go ahead.
Go ahead. While we were in Gettysburg. It's not too far away from Sachs Bridge. It has nothing to do with like the Civil War, but it's called Suicide Bridge. It's an old metal like bridge where people hung themselves on.
Good God!
And you take pictures. You can sometimes see like the people hanging from the bridge.
Jesus. Okay, we got to go to that place because I kind of want to check that out. But what I was going to say, whenever I was in Gettysburg last, here's something that I remember. So we was at, I think it was an old farmhouse or something where they turned it into like a hospital, and they were getting so many people that were coming into this hospital, and they had to do so many amputations and stuff. Like the blood just leaked into the floor, like it was pooling, and like there was just piles of body parts outside these windows and stuff because, you know, they'd lop it off and then chuck it out the window. Well, there was this story that the guide would tell about. I don't know what she was, a nurse or something, but she was tending to the soldiers in this hospital, and she was like pretty well known. And they had asked, "Does anybody know what her name was?" I knew nothing of the story. I knew nothing at all, and this name popped in my head, and I just kind of said it out loud as like a. I bet it was Sarah, and she goes, "Yeah, that's right. How did you know?" And I was like, "I didn't. I didn't know."
It came to my head.
It did.
The
It
thought
just popped in
my
there.
head.
But yeah, a lot of interesting places like the Jenny Wade and the orphanage. Have you been to the Jenny Wade house? Yeah.
I've never been to
Have
the
you?
Dreamway House or the
You've never.
orphanage.
Oh, I've done investigations in both. Wait until the Jenny Wade house is interesting. There's this chain upstairs that blocks off a segment of the room for toys and stuff for children. It sways.
Ooh.
You
Your
stop it,
cousin or
and it
your
continues to
friend,
sways.
your cousin or your friend works at Gettysburg, doesn't she?
Yeah, I haven't talked to her in quite a while, but her name is Kendra, and she does well, she used to at least do the paranormal tours for the Jenny Wade house and the orphanage.
You should reach out to her in the next couple of days and be like, hey, we're coming down next month. Do you think you can maybe like get us in the Jenny Wade house and the orphanage? Maybe even if it's like a half price type of thing.
It's been so long since I talked to her. It would feel really weird to reach out in that manner. But you had mentioned a couple of interesting places that I have some stories for.
Okay.
Do you want me to share these stories?
Before we share the stories, let's talk about some of the things that happen in these locations. So
Okay,
Devil's
that's good.
is a giant rock formation, and there's claims to be soldiers, apparitions of soldiers with no shoes. It says barefoot soldiers, disembodied voices and footsteps, and cameras and electronics malfunctioning in this location.
This is at where?
Devil's Den.
Devil's Den. Okay.
The Fernsworth House Inn reports footsteps, children laughing in empty halls, bags shaking, full body apparitions, and historical deaths occurred in the building. Now, I don't have the deaths that happened in the building, but there was deaths in the building.
That was Jenny Wade?
No, that was the Farnsworth House.
Oh, okay.
Nothing on the Jenny Wade house in my notes. It doesn't say anything about Jenny Wade house. The Gettysburg College is supposed to be haunted too. Served as a hospital after the Battle of Gettysburg. Reports of wounded ghost soldiers in the old hospital area, apparitions of surgeons and nurses, and witnesses report to see ghostly scenes replaying themselves, which sounds like a real haunting. That part.
Could you imagine going to Gettysburg College? I wouldn't want to leave.
You would have to know it's haunted if you're going to Gettysburg College.
We should reach out to somebody to go to Gettysburg College.
We should.
If you go to Gettysburg College and you listen to this podcast, reach out to us. We'd like to have a conversation with you.
If you go to this college knowing where it's at, Gettysburg. You have to know there's some activity that goes on in this college.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd imagine they hear the stories beforehand.
The orphanage. Reported the activity, children crying and laughter, objects moving on their own, and feelings of being watched and touched.
That I do remember, the feeling of being watched. There is a portion of the orphanage that's kind of messed up, and it's like this little hole or something in the wall where children used to get put for being in timeout. Yeah.
Then
I think I'm remembering that correctly. I could be wrong.
On the battlefield is mysterious mist apparitions that appear and vanish, shadow figures and eerie lights.
Mm-hmm.
And paranormal investigators report high EMF readings. And they say you can hear cannons going off in the middle of the night.
That's interesting.
It is. And the cool thing is our camp is not too far away from the battlefield.
Well, then now would be a perfect time for me to tell you this story.
Let's go.
So I found this on Reddit. This person posted about an experience that they had of a residual haunting at the Artillery Ridge campground.
Is this where we're staying?
That is where we are staying.
Okay, cool.
So it was around 1 a.m. The fog outside was thick. I suddenly began to hear and feel a battleground, like an actual army was marching through me, and all I could do was huddle beneath the blankets and plug my ears and sing to myself to drown out the intense noise. I kept being slammed with an intense cold rush, and people were screaming and having casual conversations simultaneously. I could feel the ground quaking from the rumbles of cannon fire and horse hooves, the pounding and crinkling of leather boots, men shouting to each other, some sobbing and snapping, guns firing. It was wild. The entire scene seemed to repeat for an hour. Holy crap. Because some snippets of conversations I caught looped. My leg. I'm eating with Martha tonight. Get back out there. In the morning, I asked the people camping with me about how crazy the night was with the residual ghosts, and they gawked at me, laughed, and said it was either a dream or a reenactment.
Yeah, because there's going to be a reenactment at 1 o'clock in the morning.
And this is where we're staying.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So
you gotta make sure our gear is all charged up and all have extra batteries and stuff like that, so we can do some investigating in that location.
Oh, for sure. Right at the campground, won't even have to leave. They have like a yearly price that I was considering. I think it was like, it might have been like $300 to $400 or something like that, but I think it's like you can go whenever. Yeah,
that's not bad at all. We'll have to look into that after we start.
Right.
Because if it's haunted and it's full of energy, we gotta do that.
Right, absolutely. So I actually had seen some videos on YouTube of people at the campground having experiences. The one that I thought was interesting, they could have swore that their camping chair like moved on its own.
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy to see. So you had also mentioned Devil's Den. I have a story of a 16-year-old who was on a school trip who had a mysterious meeting near Devil's Den, which is actually not far from Artillery Ridge Campground.
Interesting.
So let me see. Make sure I'm on the right one. Okay. The first time I visited Gettysburg when I was 16, I had never seen reenactors outside of forts before. I was on a class trip and we got to Gettysburg for a state competition. It was around the anniversary of the battle and was when the reenactors were still able to camp out around town. We went to Devil's Den and up to Little Round Top to the Little Castle Monument. I was the first of our group on the observation deck, and there was what I assumed was a reenactor staring out over the battlefield, but his uniform looked different from the reenactors I had seen around town. He looked to be about my age, 16 to 18 years old, and his uniform was Union colors, but looked almost like a modern day marching band uniform. I started up a conversation asking why he looked so sad because he's Union and the North won the battle. He looked surprised and said, "We won?" as a question. My friends joined us on the observation deck at that moment and asked who I was talking to. I turned to make introductions and the guy was gone. Fast forward a few decades and I now live in the area. I told a friend of mine about the ghost I met at Little Round Top, and she took me through the museum at the visitors center to see if we could find the uniform. Turns out it was the artillery officer's uniform, and they didn't tend to die of old age.
That's crazy.
That's
They
crazy.
have you ever been in the museum?
Don't know, honestly. I can't say one way or the other.
The museum's a cool place. It's free too, so you don't have to pay to go in. Well, it used to be free. And they have a whole bunch of crazy shit down there. You know what would be interesting? It might be hard to do. Like in the time frame, maybe if we ever get here again. We should try to get like Union and Confederate outfits. And maybe when we stay at this campground, maybe dress up and see if that helps spark that activity.
What, for this weekend or for when we go camping?
It's probably going to be hard to do it this time around, but like next time we go, maybe we can prepare for it, and maybe we try to get like an outfit,
do that.
like a Confederate soldier outfit and a Union soldier outfit, and like both wear them and see if that sparks any activity.
Hold on, I'm finding another. Wait. How would I do this? Hold on. Let me see how long this is.
No, you're figuring that out. I'll talk. And apparently, there is still bullets in some of the buildings in Gettysburg. You can still see like the bullets in the buildings in Gettysburg.
Oh yeah. Well, I told you about that one happenstance, right?
I think so.
About the soldier that was on the battlefield that gave the couple the musket, and then they took it back. Yeah, but there wasn't any reenactors on the field that day. That is crazy. So, hold on. Let me see if I can find this clip, because this would be kind of cool to share. And I'm curious as to what they have to say on this particular experience. Sorry, everybody. You're going to have to just bear with me for a minute.
I hope the weather's nice whenever we go. Could you imagine it being like a shitty rain?
Yeah, that would suck. Let's see. Episode 7, season 4. That's season 11. Oh my gosh. Wait. No, they don't. They should. Haunted AF. If you're hearing me, you should put your seasons into playlists. Have you ever heard of Haunted AF?
No.
So it's another
Maybe.
podcast. Season 8, season 6, season 7. I'm looking for season 4. Season 6. This is 5. We're close. We're getting there. If my thing would let me scroll. We're so close. Season. Oh, come on.
It'd be crazy to be waking up in the middle of the night by cannons going off. Boom.
Right.
Boom.
I couldn't even imagine. You
That'd be cool shit.
better wake me up. If you in the middle of the night, if you wake up to some crazy things happening, you better wake me up.
You better wake me up too. Shit.
I'll be outside your tent. Luke. There's cannons. This is going to be impossible to find. This isn't fair. Oh. Wait, hold on. Let me pause.
Daddy.
That's okay. I can't find that video, but if I find it, maybe we can share it on the Facebook page. But yeah, it was. So there was another experience at the Artillery Ridge Campground that was actually told on the Haunted AF podcast.
Maybe we should, if we find it, we should reach out to them and see if we can get them on before we go.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think we could probably definitely get them on. Well, I can't say definitely because they may say no, but I think they're reachable. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But something else here for you. We might be taking a second camping trip before we go to Gettysburg.
Where?
Salt Fork.
You ass.
Yeah, we because Renee's got some time off here in a couple of weeks, so she's like, let's go do something. I was like, well, Salt Fork isn't too expensive as far as camping goes, so for I think like $130 we can stay for like 4 nights. I'll let you know if I find Bigfoot.
I'm kind of mad.
I'll record it for you.
It's not the same thing. Witnessing it in person and seeing it in videos, it's not the same thing.
I'll give you the best blurry video that I can get. Could you imagine camping out Salt Fork and then hearing like howls in the night or something? Tree knocks.
I want to go.
Well, do we want to try to do a would you rather? Because that's our usual.
Yeah, let's do one.
Okay. So here we go.
Okay.
Spend one night alone in a haunted house where the spirits know your deepest regrets, or wander lost in the woods for 24 hours while something unseen follows you, whispering your name every time you stop.
I probably have to go with the second one.
With the second one?
Because, I mean, I'd rather have something be out there calling my name and knowing, like, my biggest regrets. Because then if they know your biggest regrets, they can just torture you with it all night. Oh, you dig this, you dig this, you dig this. You know what I mean?
Would your choice change if you had to stay for a second night?
In the woods?
Yeah.
No.
So 48 hours outweighs the one night you have to spend with the ghosts knowing your deepest regrets.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like it would be easier to be out in the woods for 48 hours than being in a haunted place for 24 hours with a ghost knowing your biggest regrets.
Oh no, you're in the woods for 48 hours while something unseen follows you.
I'd rather do that than being in a house with 24 hours, because I feel like that's going to just seem like forever. And if you're out in the woods for 48 hours, it's 2 days.
Yeah.
What would you choose?
Obviously the second one, because I don't think, I mean, I don't want to sit with my regrets for a night. That sounds like that sucks, obviously.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I don't think I have any more for this. We didn't play our weird music.
It's okay. It's been a while since we recorded one. We're getting back into it.
I'll play it now. But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We are going to try to get back into routine here. We've had some life changes in the last couple of weeks, and yeah, it's time to get back on track and lock in. We're excited to go camping this summer. We're going to be doing some more investigating, and we'd like to hear from our audience, though. What do you guys want to hear us talk about? What do you guys want us to dive into? That would be most helpful and interesting to have those conversations and know what you guys are interested in. But
if you have any experiences or encounters you would like to share, reach out to us on our website, explainingpod.com, and we have a section where you can share your encounter and be a chance to be on a future episode.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a little shameless plug in here. You can plug too if you want, because I know you're doing the graphics and stuff. But the music that you guys hear playing in the background right now, this is compliments of moi. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. Anyways, I wasn't gonna say that, but I seen you were taking a drink, and I was hoping that I might be able to get you to spit it everywhere. But if you're looking for music of any kind, custom music, for your intros, outros, YouTube videos, podcasts, or that someone to produce your next track, hit me up. We'll work something out.
Definitely. He makes awesome music.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you.
Till next time.
Have a good night. Till next time.
Keep it swirling on there.
Set out. We're so off our game. All right, guys. Bye.